So in today's session, we are going to discuss about the roll-up summary fields. What exactly the roll-up summary field and what is the use of roll-up summary field? How to create the roll-up summary fields and what are the limitations to create the roll-up summary fields? What kind of functions supported by the roll-up summary fields? We'll see practically now. So now what exactly this roll-up summary here? Basically, roll-up summary means what? We are having few objects which are associated with each other, like some parent and the child. Let's say, for example, I'm having a parent object. I'm having some parent object. Assume that this is my parent object. For example, accounts. This parent object is nothing but an account. This is an account object. So in this account object, I'm having some set of fields. Like ID of the account and the name of the account, rating value, and the type. So now these are few columns available inside my account object. These are the 4 columns are there inside my account object. So now these are the 4 columns are there. Inside my account object, I'm having some set of account records are there. Like I'm having few account records inside this. The first account record ID is some 1001 and the name of the account record is some test1 and the rating is some heart and the type is some prospect. And I'm having one more account record 1002 and this is some test2 and this is also having the rating as heart and the type is some customer direct. And I'm having one more account record 1003. This is some Pavan and the rating is some warm and he is a technology partner. And 1004 some Kumar, it is having the rating as some cold the partner referral. So now these are my some records are available here. Now this is my account records. So now these accounts are associated with few opportunity records. Nothing but when coming to the customer, these are the 4 customers are there: test1, test2, Pavan, and the Kumar. These are the 4 customers right now I have, where these customers has visited multiple times our organization and they have given the opportunity to generate some revenue by purchasing some products. So now we are having that opportunity object. So now this is the opportunity object that we have right now. And this is the opportunity object. So now these two objects are associated where we are having some set of fields are available here. Okay, we are having some set of fields are there. Like we are having few columns inside this table now. The ID of the opportunity and the name of the opportunity, the amount which has been generated from the customer, nothing but. So when coming to this opportunity, how much amount of revenue that we have generated, and this is associated with which account, that is having that account ID field. It is having that account ID field inside this. So these are the four columns are there inside my opportunity table right now. So now inside this opportunity, I'm having some set of records are there. I'm having few set of records available inside this. I'm having the name of the opportunity, the amount value, and the account record to which it is associated. So now these are the four columns are there inside my opportunity object. When coming to this opportunities, these are having few set of records available inside it. So now we are having the records inside this. The first opportunity ID is 6001. Assume that this is the ID, and the name is some opportunity 1, and the amount nothing but by visiting this customer. Okay, by visiting the customer, now he has given the opportunity to generate some 1500 rupees as a revenue. Now this account is nothing but to which account, nothing but which customer has given this opportunity to generate the revenue. Now the customer is some 1001. 1001 means nothing but test 1. Now test 1 is nothing but one of our customer who has visited our organization. He has purchased some items of the cost 1500. Now 6002, one more opportunity record. So now it is having that name, some opportunity 2. Now it has given that opportunity to generate the 40,000 revenue. So now this opportunity is associated with an account called some 1003, nothing but Pawan. So now Pawan has visited our organization and he has purchased some few products of cost some 40,000 rupees. 6003, third opportunity here. Opportunity 3, it is of cost of some 560 rupees, which has been generated by the 1002. Nothing but test 2 is nothing but one of our customer who has visited our organization. He has purchased some products of cost some 560 rupees. 6004, we are having one more opportunity, opportunity 4, and where it's got the amount value as 1800. This is associated with 1001. Nothing but test 1 is the one of our customer. Again, he has visited and then he has given the opportunity to generate 1800 rupees as a revenue. 6005, this is also one more opportunity. Now the name is opportunity 5, and here is some 2000 rupees which has been generated from 1004. Nothing but the customer Kumar has visited our organization. He has purchased few products of cost some 2000 rupees. 6006, this is some opportunity 6, which is having some value 4500, and then this is associated with 1003. 6007, opportunity some 7, which is some 4000 from the customer 1003. So now observe this one here. So now in this case, what happened? We are having few set of account records. We are having some set of opportunity records right now. So now when coming to a customer can visit multiple times the organization. They can purchase the different products, whatever they want. So now at that time, as an organization, I want to maintain how many times this customer has visited our organization, and then how much revenue we have generated from this customer as of now. Now, yesterday he has visited our organization. He has purchased some 2000 rupees items. Today morning he has visited our organization. He has purchased some 1000 rupees items. Now, just now, half an hour back, also he has visited my organization. He has purchased some 500 rupees item. Nothing but what happened, he has given the multiple opportunities to us to generate the revenue from this customer by selling out our products. So nothing but what I want to do is, as of now, how many times he has visited, and then how much amount or how much revenue that we have generated from the customer. So that we have to collect each and every opportunity record which we have generated for the same customer, and then collect all those opportunities, and then get the amount values from each opportunity, and then make it as a sum. And that sum value I want to show along with that customer record. Customer means what? The account record here. So now here I want to add a new column. Inside this column, I want to show that how much revenue that we have generated from this customer as of now. So now then, how can we calculate this information? I want to calculate this information based on the summarizing the child records. Summarizing the child record means what? I want to get that account record. Along with that account record, I want to go to that associated opportunity object. And then in this opportunity object, then how many opportunity records are there which are associated with this customer? I want to collect all those opportunities, and then I want to get that amount value, nothing but the amount of field value. I want to make it as a sum. That sum value I want to show inside my account record itself. So now for that, here I am displaying the total revenue which we have generated. So now when coming to the customer 1001, okay, 1001 means what? The test one. So now here how many times he has visited our company here? So now we are having that multiple times are there. Like this is one thing. 1001, this is the value. And the second one is 1001, this is the one. Nothing but 2 times he has visited our company. Now in these times, in the first time he has given the opportunity to generate the amount of 1500. In the second time, he has given the opportunity to generate the value of amount of some 1800. Totally, the total amount value is 3300. So now I want to show this value as 3300 over here. Nothing but the total revenue as of now we have generated is 3300. So now 1002. And then this is the customer 2. So 1002 means how many times he has visited? This is one time. Only one time he has visited, so that here we have generated 560 rupees amount. So now that value I want to show over here, 516. And the customer 3, Pawan. How many times Pawan has visited? He has visited 3 times right now. Now this is the one time, and this is another time, and this is another time. First time 40,000, second time 4,500, third time the 4,000 rupees. Totally 48,500 rupees, the one amount that we have generated here. So now 48,500. When coming to the Kumar has visited only once, and then we got the opportunity to generate the amount value as 2,000 rupees. Nothing but what happened here, we are going to be summarizing the child records information, and then based on that we are performing some operations on that field values, and we are generating that some result. That result we are displaying inside this the parent record. So now then how can we summarize these child records, and then how can we display that result into our parent record? For that here we have to use a feature called as roll-up summary fields. So what exactly the roll-up summary field here? When coming to the roll-up summary field is a read-only system generated field. Okay, roll-up summary is a read-only system generated field which will summarizes the child records, and it is performing some operations on the child record fields. It will generate some result. That result value will be displaying onto that parent record. Okay, that value will be displaying onto that parent record here. But now when coming to the parent record, if you try to change this total revenue value, it should not allow. Why? Because is here this value has been purely generated based on the child records here. So now in this kind of scenario, when coming to this value cannot be modified by the user over here. This value has been generated. Suppose, for example, so now when coming to the customer, so now the Pawan has visited one more time our organization. Pawan has visited one more time just now half an hour back. He has visited our organization. He got generated one more opportunity sum 8. Now he has purchased few products of cost of 1000 rupees. Now this is associated with 1003. Nothing but Pawan's account record ID is 1003. So nothing but what happened, whenever if you are adding one more opportunity, then automatically this record value has to be get refreshed here. Instead of having that 48,500, it has to show that value 49,500. Nothing but what happened, this value has to be get refreshed. Okay, this value has to be get refreshed here. Nothing but based on the number of opportunity records and the amount value available in each and every opportunity, it has to find out that value. It has to do some operations on that. Nothing but the sum of all the amount values in each and every opportunity, and it has to generate that result. That result has to be get displayed to your parent record. So now further, in order to summarize this child record, summarizing is nothing but grouping the child record based on this account record ID. We can group that particular record, and then we can calculate that total of that amount, and that amount value we can able to show onto our parent record as well. So for that we are using the roll-up summary fields. So now what exactly the roll-up summary field here? Roll-up summary field is a read-only system generated field. It is a read-only system generated field which summarizes the child records.
Firoz, it is a system generated or system calculated, because we will add that field manually to the object, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a system calculated actually, like system generated field value. Nothing but value will be getting generated.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now, so which summarizes the child records based on the parent and perform the operations on the child record fields and display the result in parent record. So now when coming to the roll-up summary fields, there is a limitation is there. When coming to the roll-up summary fields can be applicable between only that master detail association. Between the master detail associations only roll-up summary field can be applicable, and that too this roll-up summary field can be created only on the master object in that association. We cannot create the roll-up summary field on the child object. Always roll-up summary field has to be placed at the present on the parent object only. Now this is a limitation given by the Salesforce. Roll-up summary field should be applicable only on master object which is associated with the master detail association. So if it is a lookup, then roll-up summary fields cannot be applicable. If it is a child object, roll-up summary cannot be applicable. Roll-up summary fields can be applicable only on the parent object. The two, it should be in the master detail association, or else the roll-up summary field cannot be applicable to you always. Now, and one more note point. So now when coming to the roll-up summary fields, how can we perform these operations here? For example, I'm having the one parent record, some associated child records are there. The child records may be one or it may be multiple also. So now at that time, when coming to the child records, while summarizing those child records, what kind of operations we can perform those child record field values. So now we can able to perform only 4 basic operations on the child records here. Now, simply in one word, we can say, if everybody is aware of the select statement, in that select statement, we are having one class called as group by class. That group by class is nothing but this roll-up summary. That's it. So now we are going to be grouping the child records. And then once the child records has been grouped based on that parent, and then we can get that each and every value inside that amount of field in all the child records, and then perform some operations, and we can able to generate some result. That result we can place it onto your parent record. So now, when coming to the roll-up summary field, then how can we implement this roll-up summary field here? In order to generate the result to be get displayed in the roll-up summary field, we have to use some aggregate functions. Now, roll-up summary fields can be implemented with the help of aggregate functions. So when coming to the roll-up summary field, it is supporting 4 aggregate functions to you. It supports 4 aggregate functions to you. One is the count function. Second one is the sum function. Third one is the minimum function. And the fourth one is the maximum function. So these are the 4 aggregate functions it will support. What exactly the aggregate functions? Aggregate function is receiving a collection of values as the input, which will be performing some operations on that collection of values. It will be generating some result, and that result is nothing but a single value to you. So when coming to the aggregate functions are used to perform the operations on a collection of input values, and then we can generate only one value as a result. So now that result value should be a numerical type always. The result value should be always a numerical type, or it may be a date type also here. Now let's see. When coming to the count function is going to be returning an integer value, returns an integer which indicates the count of the records or the field values. Now, when coming to the sum is going to be returning, it returns an integer which indicates the sum of all the values in the specified column. Whatever the column that you have specified, based on that column, in that whatever the values are there, it is going to be summarizing that, so that we can specify a column name. And the next one, when coming to the sum, we can able to implement this sum function on currency fields. It can be applicable on currency type fields, number type fields, and the person type fields. So when coming to the sum function can be applicable only on the currency type fields, number type fields, and the person type fields. We can able to get that currency values, nothing but the amount values of all the child records, and then calculate that sum. And then we are having that minimum of the column name. So now when coming to the minimum function, this minimum function is going to be returning the least value inside that specified column. It returns the smallest value present in the column associated with a parent record. So now then where we can applicable here? when coming to the minimum function can be applicable. It can be applicable on date fields, on the currency fields, and the number fields, and the percent fields. Nothing but along with that, the currency, number, and the percent, we can able to apply this function on the date fields also. The last function is maximum. So now when coming to the maximum function, it is going to be returning the highest value, nothing but the largest value. It is returning the largest value present in the specified column, okay, in the specified column, which is associated with your parent record. So whatever the parent record is available, based on that parent record, we are going to be grouping all the child records. So now in the child records, based on this column, we are collecting all the values, and from there we are fetching that maximum value inside this. So now these are the 4 aggregate functions are available when coming to the Apex programming in Salesforce, which can be used inside that roll-up summary fields. So now when coming to the roll-up summary fields, these are the read-only system generated field, nothing but read-only. We cannot able to modify that field value. So now that will be present on that parent record always, and the 2 that will be applicable for the master detail associations. If it is a lookup, it will not be supported. Okay, it will not be supported in the lookup associations here. Sometimes they will be raising a question in the entry point of view. So now I am having the 2 objects are there, like as the object 1 and the object 2. Both are having the lookup association. Okay, both are having the lookup association. Now I want to implement the roll-up summary. Okay, I want to implement the roll-up summary functionality. Then how? Between that lookup association, roll-up summary fields cannot be applicable to you. So at that time, what happened? The similar kind of roll-up summary functionality we have to implement by writing our own code, and then we can able to display that result onto that parent record. So for that, the solution is triggers. By using the triggers features, we can able to implement the roll-up summary functionality between that lookup associations also. This is a common question in every interview. Now, so now when coming to the roll-up summary field here, then how can we create these roll-up summary fields? Whenever you are creating the roll-up summary field will be always visible to you on the detail page of the record. As you are aware of that, previously we have created some fields. Like we have created so many types of fields over there. And then during that time, we have discussed some system generated fields also, like as ID field. And we have discussed about that created by, last modified by, and the roll-up summary, okay, auto number, all are nothing but the formula fields. Everything comes under that system generated field. All the system generated field values will be getting present only on the detail page of the record, not on the edit page. So now, make a note. Roll-up summary field will be present only on detailed page of the record. Roll-up summary field will be present only on the detail page of the record, not on the edit page here. Then how can we create this roll-up summary field? Now we will see. So now when coming to the roll-up summary fields can be only applicable on the parent object. That too, this has been associated with the master detail association, not on the child object, not on the lookup associations. Now, so now let's see here. Let's take a use case. So now we are having the 2 objects are there. One is the parent object, that is some position, and the second one nothing but the child object, that is nothing but the candidate. So now position is the parent and the child is the candidate here. So now for each and every position, 1 or more number of candidates are going to apply. So now I want to know for a specific position how many candidates has been applied as of now. Based on that count, I would like to conduct the interview schedule. If more than 100 candidates has been applied, then at that time I want to conduct the interviews in the next week in the schedule wise. Like as for Monday for few people, Tuesday for few people, and for few people on Wednesday, for few people on Thursday, like that I will schedule that. If maximum of some 20 people has applied for this position, then I would like to conduct a weekend drive. In that weekend drive, I would like to close it off everything. So now based on that number of candidates has been applied for this particular position, I want to get that count, and based on that count, I would like to plan accordingly. So now here for that, I want to generate a field which can show how many candidates has been applied for this particular position record. Now, I want to create a formula field, create a roll-up summary field to display the number of candidates applied for each position. Number of candidates applied for each position. So then how can we create this roll-up summary field? So now roll-up summary field creation is exactly same like as our normal field creation only. Okay, there is no change. But at that time, while creating the roll-up summary field, we have to select that summarized object, nothing but based on which child object you want to summarize the record, and based on which field value you want to summarize the record, and what kind of function that you want to use. Whether you want to use the count or the sum or the minimum or the maximum, what function that you want to use. So now whenever you are going to be grouping that particular records, do you want to apply any conditions or not? Like when coming to the select statement, whenever you are going to be using the group by class, and along with the group by, there is a dependent functionality is there, that is nothing but the having. Now having class is purely dependent on group by class always. Without using that group by, we cannot use the having class. But without using the having, we can use that group by class. That flexibility is available here. Now like that here, we can able to find out. Okay, we can able to find out. So now whether do you want to use that group by class and along with that having or not. If you don't want to use the having, then we can leave it as it is. Now then how can we create this roll-up summary field? Now we'll see practically here. So now in my instance, I'm having the two objects are there, the position object and the candidate object. So now in this position object, I'm having some set of position records are there. And in the candidate object, I'm having some set of candidate records are available. So now when coming to this candidate, they have applied for some specific position. Okay, they have applied for a specific position while creating that candidate record. So now I want to know for each and every position, how many number of candidates has applied as of now. For that, I want to get the count of those candidates who has been applied for this specific position. Now, along with this position name, I want to show that count of the candidates also. How many candidates has applied as of now. Now, for that, I want to create that roll-up summary field. Let's go to that view fields on the parent object. Click on new field to create a new field type. Now, let's verify the roll-up summary is available. Roll-up summary can be applicable only on the parent object which is available in that master detail association. Now select this roll-up summary field type. It is giving that information. Now it is a read-only field that displays the sum value, minimum value, or maximum value of a field in the related list, or the records count, nothing but the count function of all records listed in the related list. So now whatever the child records, related list means the child record. In that child records, whatever the records are there, on those record field values, we can perform some minimum operation and the maximum and the sum, and then we can able to perform the count also. Now select that field type as roll-up summary. Go to the next button and specify that field label. I want to specify that field name as candidates count. How many number of candidates has been applied for this particular position. Go to the next button. Now it is asking us to select that summarizing object here. Now the master object is the position, and then what is the summarizing object? Nothing but what is the child object based on which you want to summarize this record. So now I want to summarize the records based on candidates. Nothing but for the position, we are having one object associated, that is candidates, which is in the master detail association. Now select that candidate object. Now what kind of roll-up type that you want to apply? Like, do you want to use that count or the sum or the minimum or the maximum? So now whenever you are selecting that count, you can able to count the records here. This is nothing but the group by class. Group by class has to be prepared always with the help of that aggregate function. These are the aggregate functions that we are using right now. Now, when coming to the sum can be applicable on the currency fields and the number fields and the percent type of fields. So that's what it is showing, current CTC and the expected CTC. When I select that minimum or maximum, it is providing the currency fields, current CTC and the expected CTC, and along with the date fields also. Nothing but created date and the last modified date. Nothing but minimum function and the maximum function can be applicable on the currency field types, number field types, and the percent field types, and as well as on that date field types also. So now I want to count the number of candidate records, so that I'm selecting that count. Whenever you are counting that records, do you want to consider all the records or do you want to filter the records based on a specific condition? Nothing but this filter criteria is used to apply the having clause inside this. So now whenever you are grouping that records, we can able to consider all the records. Nothing but this first radio button has been selected. That means there is no group by clause at all. Nothing but there is no condition. Consider all the records available inside that child object. Now sometimes if you want to count, like as I want to find out, I want to show that count of the candidate records who has been applied for this position, who are having some minimum 4 years of experience. Nothing but from all those candidates who has applied for this position, I want to filter those candidates also here. How many people are available from the Hyderabad location? How many people are available who are having some minimum 4 years of experience? So like that, we can able to filter those records also based on our requirement. So now for that, we can specify the conditions also. When you select the second checkbox, it is asking you to select that conditions here. Based on which field you want to apply the conditions here. You can specify the conditions information. So now, but now I don't want to write any conditions. I want to include all the records here. Nothing but how many candidates has been applied for this particular position as of now. I'm selecting that count function and then go to that next. Make it visible to all the profiles and make it save. So now when you go to that position object, we are having a field called as roll-up summary field. Okay, now which is a roll-up summary field with the name candidates count, which will be counting the records on the child object called as candidate. Now it is giving this complete information to you. So now let's go to your parent record. Open any of the parent record, nothing but the position record. SAP FICO consultant. So now for this position record, how many candidates has applied? The candidates count is 2. Whenever you are pressing the mouse pointer on this one, it is giving like as a read only symbol, nothing but the lock symbol, which is a read only field. So nothing but for this SAP FICO consultant, 2 candidates has applied as of now. Not only 1, 2 candidates here. Now I want to show that here. So now I want to show that candidates count inside this table itself. Now let's go to your edit columns inside the force.com quick access menu. And along with that, I want to show that candidates count field also here. Select that candidates count field and place it onto your selected list. Click on save. Now it is giving this information to you that when coming to the candidates, these are the candidates has been applied for each and every position record here. So now these are the candidate records has been applied for each and every position. Now we are having that candidates count column. Now which is going to be describing for the SAP FICO consultant 2 candidates has applied. For the Java technical lead 2 candidates. For the Hadoop developer 1 candidate has applied. And for the Oracle ADF and the ADF developer 1 and the developer 2 and the Oracle PLSQL, we don't have any candidates has been applied as of now. For SFDC developer 1 candidate has applied. Like that, it is going to be giving that count of the candidate records who has been applied here. Okay, who has been applied now. So now let's say I have a small question over here. So now, for example, my customer has raised a question. Okay, my customer has asked me convert that association between the position and the candidate as a lookup. And I'm trying to be changing that association. I'm going to that association right now here. Go to that association field. I'm going to the candidate. So now I'm having that master detail association of this candidate object with the position right now. Now let's open this field. I'm trying to be converting it to the lookup association. Whenever you are trying to be converting it into the lookup association, it has to show that field called as change field type. Okay, it has to provide that field called as change field type. But this button is not visible here. Why?
Since it is a roll-up summary is available, that's why it is not showing.
Yes, correct. So now whenever you are trying to be changing the relationship from the lookup to master detail to lookup. Yesterday we have discussed that. How can we convert from lookup to master detail and master detail to lookup? So at that time we are using a button called as change field type button. Whenever you are trying to be converting the association from lookup to master detail or master detail to lookup, at that time, if you are unable to see that change field type button, that means on the parent object, there is a roll-up summary field is there. If the roll-up summary field is there, then it won't allow you to convert that master detail into lookup. First of all, we have to remove that roll-up summary field from that object, and then only we can able to convert from master detail to lookup. Okay, this is the functionality that we have. So now whenever you are removing some field from that object, the field will not be removed permanently to you here in a single shot. That field will be available inside that recycle bin. From there, we can able to restore that field back also here. See, for example, assume that I'm having the position object. From this fields, I want to remove a field. I'm removing a field called as the passport required field. Okay, I'm removing a passport required field. So now just to open that field, this is the field information. It is providing the change field type button also here to you. Now if you want to remove this field, let's go to that field, nothing but the passport required field now. I want to remove this field. Click on delete button. It will ask you to remove that required field. Yes, I want to delete the custom field now. Click on delete. So now the field has been removed. Okay, the field has been removed. So now here when you observe this one fields list, at the end of that fields list, you will be having an option called as deleted fields list. Okay, the deleted fields list. So now this deleted fields list will be holding that field. Nothing but whatever the fields that we have removed, those fields will not be removing permanently. Those will be available inside the recycle bin for that 15 days free. So now from this deleted fields list, you can able to make it reverse back also. Now just to go to that deleted fields list, click on that link. It is going to be indicating here, this is the field that you are planning to remove here. So now do you want to remove this permanently or do you want to restore it back? So now if you want to restore it back, then you can click on undelete option. Or if you want to remove this field permanently from the Salesforce instance, then you can able to erase this one. Erase means it is removing permanently from your Salesforce instance. Now I want to make it restore it back here. Click on undelete. Automatically the field will be getting reversed back automatically to your object right now. When you go to that position fields, there you will be finding that field again. Nothing but the passport required field is available here. So that we can able to remove that field and we can able to restore that field back also. So now whenever you are having the roll-up summary field, and at that time we cannot able to convert the association from master detail to lookup. First of all, we have to remove the field. That field will be going to the deleted fields history. From there we have to remove permanently. Then only we can able to convert that master detail to lookup. That is the functionality here. So now like this, we can able to create the multiple fields also. Okay, like that we can create that multiple fields also. Then how many roll-up summary fields we can able to create on an object? When coming to an object, we can able to have maximum of 25 roll-up summary field. This is the limitation given by Salesforce. We can have maximum of 25 roll-up summary fields per an object. Okay, we can have maximum of 25 roll-up summary fields per an object, not more than that. This is the limitation given by Salesforce. Now, let's see one more example here. So now I want to create a roll-up summary field. Create a roll-up summary field on account object to display the total amount or revenue has been generated from each customer. I want to create a roll-up summary field between account and the opportunity here. So nothing but the observation is between account and opportunity we are having that roll-up summary, nothing but the master detail association. So now let's see how can we create this association field. So now we are having
one question. Like, so this roll-up summary field, we can it's like it's a calculated field, right? Like
yes.
So now here is if we go to the database, would there be a value in the database if I look in the backend?
Yes, in the backend also we can able to find out that value.
We can find it.
Yeah,
okay.
We can find it, but you cannot modify that value.
Okay, it's a read only, so you cannot modify it.
Yes.
But you can query on this, right?
Yes, we can query on this one.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Thank you.
Now, so when coming to the roll-up summary field, I want to apply this roll-up summary field on the account object where I want to display the total amount or the revenue value which has been generated from each and every customer. So now nothing but I want to create a roll-up summary field on the account object. I want to create a roll-up summary field where I want to summarize that records based on that summary object means this is an opportunity. In that opportunity, I want to apply the function called as a sum function based on the amount field. When coming to the opportunity, we are having a field called as amount field, which is going to be describing how much amount or the revenue has been generated from this customer. So now I would like to get that amount value, and then based on that amount values calculation, and I want to show that all the amount values calculation inside my parent record. Now let's go to this account object now. Go to your customer object. Customer means nothing but our account object now. So now we are having that account. For this account, we are having the multiple opportunities are also available. Like as 2 opportunities for this one. One is having that value as amount value as 40,000, and the second opportunity will be having the value as and the 2,35,000. So now totally we have generated some 2,75,000 rupees from this customer. Now I want to present that value inside my account record over here. So for that I want to show this value here. Why? Because if I am having more number of opportunities are there, it will be very, very difficult to calculate that sum values. So for that, I want to have a field inside my account record which can able to show how much revenue that we have generated. Based on the revenue that we have generated from the customer as of now, from the next time we are going to be offering some discounts also here. Based on the revenue we have generated, I would like to change the rating of my customer so that I can give some heart rating. If you are generating more revenue from the customer, I want to give the heart rating. If you are giving the heart rating, then we can offer some 25% discount to that customer every time from next time onwards. Like that depends upon that revenue that we have generated, we are going to be offering some discounts also. Like for example, whenever you are going to be using a bank account, if you are maintaining your transaction very perfectly, if you are doing the more number of transaction, at that time the bank people are going to be giving a call to you that based on your transaction which you are holding performing inside our account, then we are going to be offering a credit card to you. We are planning to offer a loan to you. Do you have any requirement or that? Nothing but what happened based on our credibility. Okay, based on the transaction which you are performing inside your account, those people are going to be giving some benefits to you. Like the same way here also, I want to show how much amount or the revenue that we have generated as of now. Based on that revenue, we are going to be giving some benefit to our customers also. Now, So now for that, I want to calculate the total amount value for each and every account here. For that, I'm creating a roll-up summary field. Now go to that account object, click on view fields, go to the custom fields and the relationships section, click on new button to create a new roll-up summary field. Select the field type as roll-up summary. Select the field type as roll-up summary. So now go to the next button, specify the field name, total revenue, total revenue amount. I'm giving that field name. So now go to the next button, select that summarizing object here. Now for that account, there is a summarizing object is available opportunities. Okay, there is a summarizing object is available opportunities. Nothing but opportunity is the child, which is having the master detail association with the account. Now select that opportunities. Now what you want to do? I want to calculate the sum of all the opportunity records amount value here. So that I'm using that sum function. Okay, select that sum. Based on which field inside that opportunity you want to calculate the sum. Now in that opportunity, we are having that amount of field, nothing but the currency. Expected revenue, this is also a currency. Quantity is nothing but a number. Probability is nothing but a percentage. Nothing but some field can be applicable. Nothing but some function can be applicable on the currency fields, number fields, and the percent type of fields also. We can able to apply, but it cannot be applied on the date fields. So now I want to use that amount of field here. So now I want to get each and every opportunity record associated with this parent account and get the amount value of each and every opportunity record and do the total, nothing but the sum, and please present that value on my parent record. So that I'm selecting that summarizing type, nothing but the roll-up type as the sum function I'm using right now. And then I'm going to be calculating that result based on that amount of field value, and I want to include all the records over here. Now let's go to that next button, make it visible to all the profiles, and make it save. So now let's go to that account record now. Refresh this one. You will be getting a field called as total revenue amount. Okay, total revenue amount. So now here I'm going to be creating this one more opportunity, like as some opportunity 2. The amount is some 5,000. The close date is today, and the stage is closed one. We have closed this opportunity right now here. Click on save. So now when you go to that account record, it is going to be calculating that total revenue amount value to you. Okay, total revenue value amount to you. Now 2,80,000 rupees is available here. We are having the 3 opportunities right now. Now first opportunity is 40,000, and then another one is 5,000, and another one is the 2,35,000. Totally 2,80,000 is available. So that this value will be getting present to you on that record here. Suppose, for example, in future, I am removing one opportunity record. The 40,000 opportunity record I am removing right now. Click on delete. So now whenever you are deleting that record here, now it is going to be recalculating that value. Now it is showing that total revenue amount as 2,40,000 rupees, because we have removed that record back. We have removed that opportunity record from there. So that here, as of now, currently we are having 2 opportunity records are available. Okay, one is having the amount value as 5,000. Second one is the value as 2,35,000. Totally 2,40,000 rupees is there, which is going to be describing this information to you. So now for that here, whenever you are going to be creating a new record, whenever you are changing that amount of field value, whenever you are adding a new opportunity record, then automatically this roll-up summary field value will be getting recalculated again every time. No need to manually recalculate that. Every time it will be getting recalculated for you. So this is the way we can able to create the roll-up summary fields inside a parent object which is available on that master detail association. So this is the functionality of rollup summary fields. Now we'll see the one more feature here. The next feature is what are the various associations among the standard objects in Salesforce. Like as of now, we have discussed how can we create the lookup association, how can we create the master detail association, how can we map the many association we have discussed. Yeah.
Like if I want an average on the average on the field, so it is not available by default. We have to write a trigger on. We have to create our own field and write a trigger and update. That's what you mean to say. Like whenever the record is added in the child record, where do we need to write a trigger? For example, like for the average sales by this customer or for this account.
Okay. Now, at that time, we can able to create a trigger on the account object. Sorry, the child object, nothing but opportunity. So now whenever a new opportunity record has been getting created, or if any opportunity has been updated, if any opportunity has been deleted, then every time we have to find out that opportunity on which object, on which parent record this opportunity has been associated. Based on that, we have to update that parent record automatically. So that we have to create that trigger on the opportunity object, nothing but on the child object. Because based on that child object operations, we are going to be updating into that parent. So that we have to create the trigger on the opportunity object, not on the account. Okay.
Okay, since the record will be inserted in the child object,
yes.
So whenever the new okay, got it.
That's what. Now we will see how can we implement this. What are the various standard associations? Yeah.
Yeah, one question. So
Yeah.
when we create a new field, right, like on the parent, so there is a data type formula, right? Formula read-only field that derives its value from the formula expression. But this is it can only operate on the parent, right? It cannot derive anything from the child, right?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Now we are going to be discussing about that various associations among the standard objects. As of now, we have discussed about the various types of associations like as lookup, master detail, and the many-to-many. And now we have discussed about so many objects also like as account, contact, opportunity, cases, and our custom objects also here. Then what kind of associations are available by default in those objects? We'll see practically here. Now, by default, what are the standard objects given by Salesforce? Between those standard objects, Salesforce has mapped some association. They have mapped some association ready-madely. Like as we are having the account and the contact. These two, we haven't created. These two objects are ready-made objects, and between those two, we are having some association. And then we are having account and the opportunity. Between those two, we are having some association. We haven't mapped that association manually. But between our custom object like as position and the candidate and the hiring manager, we have mapped the association because these are our custom objects based on our need. We have mapped that association whatever we want. It may be lookup or master detail or many-to-many, whatever. But now we will see what is the associations available among the various standard objects in Salesforce. Now let's see here. The first one. We are having that account object and contact object.
Because the standard objects are like vary. I mean, they will be varied based on the what is that app you are in, right? For sales app, it is different, and marketing app is different, and service it is different, right? Service cloud, sales cloud, and marketing cloud is different, right?
Yes.
So how many total number of standard objects available for those?
See, so now when coming to the Salesforce, they are not maintaining the multiple copies of that standard objects. See, already we have discussed. Like, when coming to the Salesforce, they are maintaining only one set of standard objects for the entire Salesforce instance.
Yeah, and they will be shared between different apps, right?
Yes. Nothing but the same object we can able to access from the different application also. Okay, the same object we can able to access from the different application, and at that time we can able to maintain whether this record has been created from which app also we can able to monitor. Okay, that we can able to cross check. That facility is available to us.
Oh, okay.
Whether this has is from sales application or it is from the marketing, whether it is from the call center, like that we can able to cross check that. That flexibility is available. Now, in a single instance, like as some AP2 server or NA1 server or NA41 server, whatever, inside a single instance, you will be having some multiple Salesforce organizations are available. Nothing but I have created one account, my Salesforce account. That is also in the NA41 server. Now, Ram is also created one Salesforce account. That is also in the NA41 server. And Mohit also created one account. This is also in the AP1, NA41 server. Now, Prem also created one Salesforce account. It is also available in that same server. Nothing but in a single server, they are maintaining that multiple tenants, nothing but multiple customers during that multi-tenant architecture we have discussed. So now at that time, I am able to access that Salesforce CRM application, and Prem is also able to access that, Ram is able to access, everybody is able to access that Salesforce CRM application. At that time, as part of Salesforce CRM application, we are getting the objects of the CRM functionalities like as account, contact, opportunity, everything. Now I am creating one account record that will be storing inside the account table. Prem has created two account records that will be storing inside the same table. And the Ram has created three account records that is also storing inside the same table. Nothing but what happened? We are from three different organizations, but even though the table is same, only one table. Nothing but when coming to the Salesforce, for the entire Salesforce instance, nothing but for entire server, it will be maintaining only one set of standard objects, not the multiple. Now, each and every organization's account record will be storing inside the same account table here. But we have to differentiate that by using that user ID. There. When coming to the security concept, I'm going to be discussing about that. Then how can we maintain the security when the Salesforce is maintaining only one set of objects for the multiple customers inside the same instance? That's what the security came into the picture. If for each and every organization, nothing but for myself, if I'm having my own account table, for the Prem's account, he is having separate account table, Ram is having his own account table, then no need of having the security. No need to maintain the security because it's my table, only myself can able to access. Nobody is able to access that here. But if I'm having a common table at that time, security came into the picture here. How can we make these records to be get visible? My records cannot be visible to the Ram. Ram's record cannot be visible to the Prem. Prem records I cannot able to access. Then how can we maintain the security whenever we are maintaining a common object over there? So that's what Salesforce is giving some security features to us, which we are going to be configuring in that security concepts. Now, so now let's see.
Okay, we're going to cover that. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Now, so now when coming to the standard objects like as account and the contact. So what is the association between account and contact right now? So now whenever you are going to be creating that contact record, selecting the parent is not a mandatory field. Okay, selecting the parent is not a mandatory field. Let's see. I'm trying to be creating a new contact record. Now, when you click on new button to create a new contact record, here it is providing to provide the contact record details. Along with that, we have to select that account record to which you want to make it associated. Nothing but the customer name. There is a lookup is available here. We have to select that account record to which you want to make this contact to be get associated. From this one, we can select any of the account record here. Now, but now this field is not a mandatory field. You may enter the value, you may not enter the value here. Because when coming to the lookup association, we have discussed, while creating the child record, selecting the parent is not a mandatory. Okay, it's not mandatory, it's an optional. You may select the parent, you may not select the parent. Okay, that's up to you, depends upon the need. So now, when coming to this contact object, also the similar kind of feature is there. While creating the contact record, selecting the account is not mandatory. This is an optional. Nothing but between account and the contact, we have identified that lookup association. If the lookup association is there, then what is the relationship field over here? When coming to that association, the fundamental base rule is if we want to map the association between the two objects, then first of all, we have a common column in both the tables. Then only we can able to redirect from the parent object to child object and from child object to parent object. We can able to traverse from both the directions also. So now for that, we need a common field. We need a common column. What is that common column inside this contact here? Nothing but common column means what? That relationship field. Nothing but that foreign key field. So now where we are applying the foreign key field? Only on the child object. Foreign keys will be applicable only on the child tables, not on the parent tables. So that here, that foreign key field is nothing but our relationship field. Nothing but that may be lookup field or a master detail field. Now that lookup field or the master detail field we are creating only on the child objects here. Then what is that field over here? So now when coming to the account and the contact, in that contact object, it is having one additional field called as account ID field. Okay, it is having a field called as account ID field, which is a relationship field between account and the contact. Whenever you are creating a new contact record, whatever the account record that we have selected by using this lookup icon. Now suppose for example, I'm selecting this account record as some Athena home products. Whatever the record that you have selected, this Athena home product is an account record. This account record's ID value will be storing inside that account ID field of contact object automatically. Okay. So now it won't store the name of that account record. It will be storing the ID of this account record which we have selected. Why? Because is when coming to the Salesforce, we can create the multiple account records with the same name. There is no duplication check. Blindly, we can create multiple records also with the same name. At that time, identifying that record based on the name, it will be very, very difficult for us. But even though we have created the multiple account records with the same name, every record will be having a unique identification number generated by the Salesforce to you. So that instead of storing the name, it is storing that ID so that it will be very easy for it to identify that parent record directly just by using that ID. So now for that, between this account and the contact, we are having that lookup association where the parent account records ID will be storing inside that account ID field of contact record. Now, let's make a note of it here. Between account and contact, we have the lookup association. We have the lookup association. Now, upon creating the contact record, selecting the parent account is an optional field. Now, contact object contains a lookup field with account with the name account ID, which holds the ID of the account record to which the contact gets associated. Nothing but that the contact record is associated with an account. That account record ID will be storing inside that account ID field here. Now, I will show you one strange functionality when coming to the standard feature. Now, let me show you practically here. Whenever we are having that lookup association between the two objects, suppose for example, if I am removing a parent record, then what will happen about the child records? Child records will exist or the child records will get removed.
It's a lookup, so the child record will exist.
Okay, now come to the actual functionality in Salesforce.
And child record will exist and it will make a null value, right, Firoz?
Yes, correct. Now, let's see the functionality of standard Salesforce feature. Now, this is a very, very important question in the entry point of view. Now, so now here we are having that lookup association between the account and the contact here. Now, let's open any of the account record, whatever we have. So, I'm having an account record called as with the name some Sumit Ranjan. So now when coming to the account record, we don't have any contacts right now. Okay, we don't have any contacts right now. Now the contacts are empty. I'm creating a new contact record right now. Go to the contacts, click on new. I'm creating a contact record with the name sample contact Samsumit. I'm going to be making this contact to be get associated with the account record. I'm selecting that account record, Samsumit Ranjan. Now I'm selecting that account record now. So now I'm saving this contact record. Let's save. It is asking to provide that phone number. And I'm entering some email ID also. Sumit@some gmail.com. I'm entering some fax number as well. Now, I have this contact is available. This contact is associated with an account called as Sumit Ranjan. Sumit Ranjan is that account and the contact record is sample contact Sumit. Okay, this is that contact record. Now let's remove this account record. Observe what will happen. Now let's go to that account. Now this is a Sumit Ranjan account record. I'm removing this record right now. Click on delete. Click on OK. I'm removing this record now. So we have added some triggers on this one. Now let me show you practically your example.
What did you do first? Sorry, I did not follow.
Now these are some triggers which I have implemented previously.
Salesforce? Okay.
Now, so now I'm trying to be removing this Sumit Ranjan account record. Let's remove this account record now. I have removed that record here, Sumit Ranjan record. So let's go to the recycle bin. In that recycle bin, I'm having that record called as Sumit Ranjan record. So now I'm having that Sumit Ranjan record is available, which is the account record which I have removed right now. Just now I have removed that 5:17 p.m. So now let's see here. When you go to that contacts, I'm looking for that associated contact here. Okay, I'm looking for that contact. So now the contact is available. See, so I have implemented some triggers on this one in this instance. Let me show you in your account actually. Now see. So now let's go to your account. Open any of the account record which is having the contact record. I'm having some TCS's account record. And it is having a contact called as Sridhar Kumar. It is having an opportunity also along with that. So now I'm going to be removing this particular TCS record right now. When you delete this TCS record, observe what will happen. Now the TCS record has been removed. Let's go to the recycle bin.
Right?
You will be having that TCS record. And when you go to that contacts, observe this contacts here. We having that contact is available Sridhar Kumar. That Sridhar Kumar contact is also removed. Now, with the name Kumar, there is no records are available. With the name Sridhar, we don't have any records available here. Nothing but what happened when coming to the Salesforce, even though they are having that lookup association between the account and contact, this will be behaving like as that master detail if at the time of deletion. Nothing but what happened whenever you are removing the parent account record, then the associated child records will be getting removed automatically by default, even though if it is a lookup association. Nothing but what happened, it's not that master detail. Then how do we know this is not master detail? Whenever I'm trying to be creating that lookup roll-up summary field on the account object, it is populating only that opportunity, not the contact here. If it is a master detail association, it will show that account contact record also to contact object also to me inside that summarized object field. But it is populating only that opportunity. Nothing but between opportunity and the account, they're having that master detail association, and between account and the contact, we're having that lookup association over here. But even though you are having the lookup association between that account and the contact, they have given one additional feature between account and contact that if you are removing that account record, then all the associated contacts will be getting removed by default. This is a standard feature given by Salesforce to you. Now, this question is very, very important in the entry point of view because it is having a strange feature inside this. Now, so many CRM users has expected this feature, for that Salesforce has provided this additional functionality to you. Sometimes in the interview point of view, they will raise a question, I don't want to remove my contact record, then how can we make this contact to be exist as it is? So at that time, we have to use a trigger. By using the trigger, before deleting that account record, first of all, we have to get the record ID, account record ID. With that account record ID, go to the child record, nothing but the object, child object, nothing but the contact records, get each and every associated contact record, make that account ID field value as null. So now by using that option, we can able to make that contact to be get existed by using that trigger. Okay. Now let's make a note of it.
Feroz, is there because what we are doing is this is doing a cascade delete, right, or deep delete as we call it, right?
Yes, yes.
The parent, when the parent record is removed, the child record is so is that not an optional thing? Like when we said, okay, but these are standard, right? So that's not a, you cannot configure. But
Yes.
Okay, all right, okay, got it. Okay.
So for that, we have to implement our trigger, and by which the trigger we can able to break this functionality before deletion of that account. Now, so now let's make a note point here. Upon removing the account record, it will remove all the associated contact records exist in the contact object. Which is a standard feature offered by Salesforce by default. And we can break this feature by creating a trigger on account object.
Feroz, this is a common functionality in the standard object between lookup, Feroz, or only these two?
No, not for all, only for account and contact only.
Oh, okay. Thought like it is in all the standard objects. So this is okay.
Only for account and contact. That's what I'm describing here. Now, even though we are having that lookup association between account and contact, between these two objects, we are having the additional feature that is a standard feature. Upon removing an account record, all the associated contact records will get removed by default to you. So if you want to break this feature, then we can able to use the triggers. By using trigger, we can able to implement that functionality. And then sometimes they will raise a question in the entry point of view. I'm having that account and the contact, which is having the lookup association. I want that roll-up summary functionality. Then how can we implement? Here also the solution is trigger. Because we cannot add that roll-up summary field, because between account and contact we have the lookup association. Between the lookup associations we cannot create the roll-up summary field that will be applicable only on master detail. Then we have to go with this triggers option. So that whenever we got a requirement, we have to analyze that requirement. During that time, we have to verify whether up to what level it is possible in terms of standard features, nothing but configurable features, what are not possible. Based on that, how to implement or how to go beyond these functionalities, we have to think in the development mind. So that here, Salesforce functionality is purely combination of both configuration and the customization. It's not purely the development. Now, most of the features we have to configure by using that mouse pointers. Remaining features we have to implement with the help of that development, nothing but the triggers and the Visual Force, Apex and Visual Force. And we can able to combine both these together and we can deploy to the various instances, whatever we want. Now, the second one, account and opportunity. So now between account and opportunity, already you are aware of that. We are having that master detail association. Because of that, we can able to create that OLAP summary field on that. Between account and opportunity, we have master detail association. Master detail association. Upon creating the opportunity record, it will hold the parent account ID inside a field called as account ID field. Nothing but the relationship field is nothing but the account ID field between account and the opportunity also. And the third one, account and case object. Now, between account and case object also, we are having that lookup association. So now we are having the lookup association. Account object and the case object, we have lookup association. So now whenever you are going to be creating a case record, then whatever the account record that you have selected, that account record's ID will be storing inside a field called as account ID field. Okay, account ID field. So now these are few associations are available between our standard objects. Now come to the next one. We are having the contact and opportunity. So what is the association between that contact and opportunity here? Between contact and opportunity, we are having many-to-many association. Okay, we are having that many-to-many association. Between contact and opportunity, we have many-to-many association. Many-to-many association, which has been implemented by using a junction object. By using the junction object, opportunity contact roles. Opportunity contact roles is a junction object between contact and opportunity object. And the next one, the campaign and the contact object. Between the campaign and the contact object, again we are having many-to-many association. Between campaign and contact, we have many-to-many association. Which has been implemented by using a junction object, campaign member. Campaign member is a junction object between campaign and the contact object.
Firoz, this information we can view in the schema builder, right? If we pull those two and we can get the junction object also, how do we do? Or do we need to know all this? Or like, I just wanted to ask.
No, you can't get this information from the schema builder, because in schema builder it won't present all the standard objects in Salesforce. It will be presenting only a few objects to you.
Oh, okay.
That's what here. when coming to the entry point of view, these kind of questions they will raise here that we have to analyze in that Salesforce application. That's what Salesforce is not giving all the information inside that schema builder. Only few objects will be getting present to you. And the next one, opportunity and the product. Between the opportunity and the product, we are having that many-to-many association again. Between opportunity and product, we have many-to-many association, and which has been implemented by using a junction object, opportunity line item. Okay, opportunity line item. And the next one, product and the price book. Between product and price book, we have many-to-many association again. Many-to-many association, which has been implemented by using a junction object called as price book entry item. These are the various junction objects are there. Sometimes in the entry point of view, they will raise a question differently, like how can we achieve many-to-many association? Now we are saying that like we can achieve with the help of a junction object, which will be having the master detail association with both the parents. Now, do we have any junction objects given by Salesforce by default? Yes. What are those junction objects given by Salesforce? Now, at that time, we can able to explain this one. We are having the junction object like as opportunity contact role, where this junction object has been created by the Salesforce people between the two parent objects called as contact and opportunity. And we are having one more junction object campaign member, which has been created between campaign and the contact. We have the junction object opportunity line item between opportunity and the product. We have the junction object price book entry item between product and price book. So now these are various standard junction objects given by the Salesforce to you. So now we can able to cross check these standard junction objects also. These are the standard junction objects given by the Salesforce to you as part of the Salesforce CRM functionality. Okay. Now, so this is our association. And tomorrow's session, we are going to discuss about some more features. Like tomorrow, I'm going to discuss about a concept called as validation rules. How can we use that validation rules? And how can we implement that validation rules functionality? And after that, we are going to discuss about that one-to-one association. How can we implement the one-to-one association and the hierarchical association inside this? And after that, we are going to discuss about one more feature called as email templates. How can we send the email notifications by using Salesforce? We'll see practically over there.
So are we on track for us by December end?
Yeah, by December end, we are going to be completing everything.
Okay. So are we going to do a sample application like small project so that
Sure.
whatever the features?
Sure, definitely. I will be sharing that project information to you. Because we are having some important feature. Once we are done with that, I will be sharing one project document to everybody so that we can do some practice on that.
Yeah, that way.
That is 194.
That way it is easy for us to go through.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Firoz, one question, like, on this, you said, like, like for opportunity and even contact has a field, like, a foreign key field which holds the account ID, right?
Yes, yes.
So, how do I see that? Is it in the, when I go to the contact object, can I see that?
No, you cannot, that field cannot be visible to you. When you go to that object, contact object, it will be giving like as the contact account name.
Yeah.
it will be displaying like as in that this is a contact object, it will be displaying like as account name. But internally it will be holding a field called as account ID. That's what here this is a lookup to account. Okay, if it is a lookup, then automatically it will be holding the ID of that account record, not the name. So that's what this is a account ID field. The API name is account ID.
Alright, okay, account ID, right? So, I mean, if you're debugging or something like, so then you need to, and if you have to go to the database and look at, like, then you have to go by account ID, right?
Account ID only. We have to use that account ID.
Alright, okay, thank you.
First, and one last question, sorry. This is like for all the master detail and the lookup, the parent's record ID will be stored even if it is displaying the name across all the...
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.